My videos don't necessarily promote one religion. My views and opinions aren't meant to change the minds, opinions, or beliefs of others. Watch with an open mind. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, entertainment, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement is intended. We continue to uncover the profound wisdom within the timeless scriptures. Take care, and God bless.
Do you know your rights to protect yourself? Here are 7 things everyone needs to know about self-defense laws. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am the host. Welcome to my channel, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. Now, the conversation today has become extremely pertinent to every single one of us, regardless of where we are. I don't care if you're in New York City or Wyoming. I'm talking about the laws of self-defense and your rights. Now, we've discussed this before on the channel, and it's been a very popular discussion. That's why I'm doing round 2, because many people need to hear this again, and some new people have come in over the past few months. So this is a refresher for everybody. And what I want to do is kind of break down the things that you need to know in order to protect yourself according to the law. And if you stay all the way to the end, I'll tell you one more bonus thing that will be really important to keep in mind as well. But let's get into this. No one understands self-defense. Before we dive into specific laws, it's crucial to grasp the core principles of in essence. Self-defense laws grant individuals the legal right to use force to safeguard themselves or others from imminent harm. However, the use of force must meet specific conditions to be considered justified. Those conditions are generally going to be immediacy, meaning the threat has to be immediate. It can't be something that's going to happen in 3 days. It has to be immediately there. It has to be something that's about to happen at that moment. 2, proportionality. The force employed should be proportionate to the threat. Like you pull out a gun and shoot somebody in the head if they're re-threatening you with a knife, okay? You can't take someone's life if they're threatening you with physical harm. There has to be proportionality between the two. And then finally, reasonableness. A reasonable person would have acted similarly in that same situation. A reasonable person's standard is generally going to be, how would a reasonable and prudent person have acted in that specific situation? This is the crux of self-defense, and it's vital to comprehend these principles as we move further into the specifics. Know the Castle Doctrine and Stand Your Ground laws. Both the Castle Doctrine and Stand Your Ground laws fall under the umbrella of but they have different applications and varying degrees of protection. The Castle Doctrine, often referred to as the man's home, is his castle doctrine, asserts that individuals have the right to defend their home and family with deadly force, if they reasonably believe it as necessary. This means that you generally do not have a duty to retreat if someone breaks into your house. You can stop them by any means necessary. Now, Stand Your Ground laws extend the right to self-defense outside of one's home. They allow individuals to use force in public places to protect themselves, usually without a duty to retreat, just like the Castle Doctrine. However, Stand Your Ground laws can vary significantly. Some states fully abolish the duty to retreat everywhere, while others have exceptions. Knowing whether your state recognizes Stand Your Ground and its limitations is essential. 3. Duty to retreat. In some places, you might be required to try to escape or retreat before using force. This is known as the duty to retreat. Now, understanding when and where this duty applies is crucial. As we mentioned, the Castle Doctrine generally supersedes the duty to retreat. So you do not have a duty to retreat in your own home. However, in public places, the duty to retreat might require you to show that you tried to escape or de-escalate before resorting to force. This could include running away, hiding, or trying to calm the situation down before using force. The duty to retreat laws vary widely. So check your local laws and understand where you are required to retreat and where you do not. No. 4. The use of force continuum. The use of force continuum is a guideline used by law enforcement and sometimes civilians that helps determine the appropriate level of force based on the level of threat. Generally speaking, this is verbal commands, visual commands, like showing your badge or your gun, and then physical restraint, like grabbing a hold of somebody. Then it goes to the use of your OC spray, your baton, your taser, your firearms. And the point here is to understand that as a civilian, there are levels of force. And you need to be able to apply the correct level of force to the situation, or else you might find yourself in a world of hurt. I highly recommend finding some kind of use of force continuum training in your area, and I will put a link down below in the description box, so you can start looking for that immediately. Number 5, justifiable homicide. Justifiable homicide occurs when a person is killed in. This means that although the action of taking another person's life is normally illegal, it can be excused by law if it meets certain criteria. In essence, you can kill another person in self-defense if it is deemed that your actions were both reasonable and necessary. Actions are considered reasonable if a reasonable person under similar circumstances would have believed that they were in imminent danger of death or great bodily harm. Necessity is established if it is proven that the person killed was the one who posed the danger and that there were no other reasonable options to stop the threat. Again, this is going to vary state to state and region to region, and it's important that you understand your local laws surrounding justifiable homicide. Number 6, legal representation. Having a lawyer to represent you in a court of law is one of the most important things you can do. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you had to use deadly force, a good attorney specializing in self-defense cases can explain your rights, advise you on your legal options, and build a strong defense. Remember, even if you act in self-defense, you could still face legal challenges. That's why having a skilled attorney who understands self-defense law is invaluable. If you live in an area where there are multiple attorneys that handle this, go ahead and consult with several of them. Make sure you get the one that you feel the most comfortable with. And if you're unsure of how to go about finding a good attorney, ask around. Ask police officers. Ask other people who deal with attorneys regularly and see who they recommend. Also, your State Bar Association is a fantastic resource for finding an attorney in your specific area that deals with this regularly. Number 7, keep learning. As we mentioned earlier, the laws surrounding self-defense, the Castle Doctrine, stand your ground, and justifiable homicide are constantly evolving and changing, and it is our responsibility to stay up to date on those changes. So keep learning. Attend seminars, read books, watch videos. Do everything you can to increase your knowledge in this area, because knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better you're going to be able to defend yourself within the bounds of the law. So there you go. Those are the 7 things that you need to know about self-defense laws. And remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking the law. So take your time, learn this stuff, stay sharp, and stay safe. That's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video and you'd like to support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm and it signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos and in this type of toy news. As always, I want to thank everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, who shares these videos. You guys are directly impacting these videos, impacting this channel, and helping me to reach and educate more people than I could ever do on my own. So as always, thank you all for watching. Do you ente forget to like and subscribe, and never forget, this nation was built by scholars, and this nation will be maintained by scholars.
Thank you all for watching this here video.